Hey, welcome to the Nydus News Network, your weekly Starcraft news show. Today, we've got all the WTL results as Code A is done. Code S is on the docket coming soon, and 5 teams have qualified. Maru's third victory in 4 weeks in the KSL. He's won every single week he's played in, dominating there. Some awesome games out of the ESL Open Cups. Wardy's multiple $10,000 tournaments that are running here. Winter Championship done. Korean Royale is still going. And a new $500,000 tournament added on to the Starcraft year, courtesy of Gamers8 out of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. That'll be happening sometime in August. What do we do blathering around? Let's get into it. The World Team League Code A took place over the course of this week, and while the results of the qualifiers were expected, Code A was a totally different story. It followed the standard WTL format of a series of predetermined best-of-twos, with the loser of map 1 getting their choice on the second map. A confusing format, but one that WTL has followed for a while now, and it definitely does a good job of providing 7-game series. Going into this week, there were 4 teams expected to qualify to Code S. Abydos, a team that appears to be a proxy for Team NV with Cure creator Nightmare and SOS. BASILISK, with Cyril, Rainer, Trigger, and Rotterdam. Mystery Gaming, which is comprised of classic DRG, Nice, and Strange, and Starlight Twinkle, which is effectively Cham and Spirit and whoever else they can find. The 5th spot, though, appeared to be much more wide open. While Basilisk cruised through to a qualifying spot easily, it's pretty hard to beat a roster with 2 world champions on it. Mystery Gaming and Abydos stumbled out of the block, and Mystery continued that fall straight out of the tournament. Invictus Gaming's Maxed took an ace match victory over Nice after breaking GG, of all people, tied DRG to send Mystery to the lower bracket, or an informed Shadone took out Classic 2-0 to secure Platinum Heroes advancement and Mystery's elimination. The story of Korean Protoss players underperforming was mirrored in Abydos' first round match as well, as Spatz capped off a 3-0 day with a victory over Creator in the ace match. Luckily for Abydos fans, they took care of business against Starcom in the lower bracket to secure a last chance qualifier at the minimum. Moving on, Platinum Heroes dispatched Berserker in the final qualifying match, as did Abydos 6-0 over IG, which now of course means that Berserker and Invictus Gaming will be fighting for 5th place on Sunday to determine who qualifies for Code S and who has to try again next year. In other WTL news, Hypergriff, the creators of the mobile game Arknight, were announced as the sponsor of the WTL, the Kung Fu Cup, and the Masters Coliseum, which raises the prize pool of WTL Code S to $87,000, the Masters Coliseum to $44,000, and each Kung Fu Cup to $1,500, and there will be 8 of those over the course of the WTL season. Coupled with rumors of an offline WTL Summer Finals, the Chinese scene continues to pop off on news of Oliveira's World Championship. In ESL Open Cup news, this year marked the 168th showing. Clem won Europe with a 3-1 victory over Hero Marine, and Hero took a dazzling 3-2 reverse sweep over Cure in North America. The Korean Cup ended too late for this video. Should I cover previous week's EPT Korea here instead? Let me know in the comments. Moving on to Wardy's tournaments, both the WardiTV Winter 2023 Championship and the WardiTV Korean Royale continued their runs this week. The Korean Royale continued their group stage, with Hero confirming first place in Group B with 1 series to play. Group A, however, is far more wide open. Only 2 total maps separate 8th place Ryung from 4th place Gumiho, and the top 5 players advance. The playoffs will be confirmed early next week. On the Winter 2023 Championship side, Cure took an excellent, and I mean excellent, 4-2 victory over Dark in the finals. In a time where Cure has been roundly criticized for his lackluster TVZ, it's good to see him kick that one to the curb. While I can't cover every story in this event, it was a big one. Let's go over some of those key stories. Hero fell victim to Terran as successive 1-2s to Clem and a surging Ryung had him bounce from the tournament early on. In general, the lower bracket could be confused for the upper, as MaxPax, Hero, Clem, Dark, Creator, Byun all found themselves fighting for their lives in the first 2 rounds of the lower bracket, and many of them fell out very quickly. Meanwhile, the upper bracket of Skilless, Ragnarok, Cure, and Solar didn't quite have that same punch. The Korean Starcraft League also completed their 4th event this week, and Maru won his 3rd iteration in 4 weeks, 3-1. This time, Hero was his victim in the rather one-sided finals. Game 4, though, was probably the best, but it was still a story of Hero fighting back from horrendous odds over and over again, and it never quite worked, even though we got some pretty good storms. As a reminder, they are talking about taking a portion of their Patreon funds to put on a tournament that is looking like it's going to be over $5,000 at this point, sometime later in the summer. I've included a link to the description if you want to contribute and make this event even bigger. Finally, this Friday marked a marathon of Big Brain Bouts Week, as BASILISK upped the prize pool to $2,500 and opened the bracket for everyone to participate in celebration of Starcraft's 25th anniversary. 230 players answered the challenge, and it was so successful that they had to run the finals on Saturday after the Friday tournament spilled late into the night. Players do need to sleep after all. After the dust cleared, Cyril took his one-map upper bracket advantage and turned it into a 4-0 victory over MaxPax, dropping a single map on the way there. But let's take a moment to celebrate MaxPax's run as well, though. He fell down to Byun in the upper bracket quarterfinals, 0-2, and then had to fight through for Jumi, 1-0, Gumio, 2-0, Spirit, 2-0, and then had to get revenge on Byun, 2-1, and then 2-0'd Clem before earning that grand finals slot. Turns out his PvT is pretty good, as he showed us in the Pigsty 3 last week. We'll end, though, on the biggest news of this week. The Saudi Esports Federation has announced that StarCraft 2 and StarCraft Remastered will be part of their Gamers8 Esports Festival this summer in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The tournament will have a $500,000 prize pool split between the two games, and the players will qualify through the Gamers Without Borders charity tournament this spring. 12 players will be invited from Korea, 12 players will be invited from EPT Western standings, and 16 of those 24 total players will qualify to the August LAN. It's not yet clear whether there will be future event invites for this, or whether there will be some sort of open qualification on top of Gamers Without Borders. ESL has further stated that this event is not part of the ESL Pro Tour standings, which does open the door for some invites later on to the process. This tournament is quite the controversial one. How do you all feel about it? That's all for this week, but if you got this far, you should probably hit that sub button, because new episodes of the Nydus News Network are up every Sunday, and if you miss me, when you're done watching these casts on YouTube, I stream on Twitch 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, twitch.tv/Bamwolf. Catch you there.